Hello everybody and welcome back to Physic Talks. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed today's video, please do leave it a like and subscribe if you want to help support me and my channel. If anyone lives in England at the moment, I feel sorry for you because it's horrible, like it always is around this time of the year. We had a good summer though, to be fair. It was one of the best for many years. So today we're going to be talking about XtremeGamez, those bunch of buffoons. For those of you that don't know, XtremeGamez is a YouTube channel that has recently decided to try and deceive the audience into thinking that they're going to die under these insane reasons and excuses. Following this, they used it to manipulate everyone into joining a giveaway, an iPhone giveaway. It went much beyond this though into a next video where they go and visit a chiropractor to get healed, to heal their liver disease and their vertigo slash crooked neck, whatever the hell was wrong with the other one. I don't know either of their names, so I'm just going to be calling them the left one and the right one. So they've released a new video. It was 4 days ago, and it hasn't done very well. Like, in the first video, the like to dislikes wasn't too great because word got out about the video they had made and how horrible and manipulative it was, and the likes were still fairly high though because they had a big audience of over 4 million subscribers and obviously a lot of people backing them. Now on this latest video, they have received 2,800 likes and 15,000 dislikes and only 100,000 views. So they've basically destroyed any chance of really getting anywhere with their channel anymore because it seems everyone is just done with them. It's something we've seen happen many times to many people. Anision, Social Repose, the list goes on. So we're going to be tucking right into this latest video, and before we get into it, just think about the last videos, because I've done 2 videos on these guys already. I'll put links to those videos in the description if you wanted to check that out. And yeah, just remember that they have said with his edema and his liver disease and all of that jazz, he says that it's utterly painful to move, that he can't move without being in complete agony. So just look at the amount of movement that is going on in their insanely over-exaggerated intros. But they've always had intros like this, so it's really interesting. In the last video, we really started to see how much of a facade this was. They were barely keeping their story straight, saying that they were visiting doctors and they said there was nothing wrong with the one on the left, that he was suffering with vertigo and that he had depression and he could have committed suicide. It was insane, pure insanity. So it's going to be really interesting to see what other wacky excuses they'll be coming up with today. So let's dive right into this one.
How's it going, Extremers? It is XtremeGamez here, guys, and today we are back in Australia. Finally, it's been 3 whole months of doctors, and we're going to tell you guys exactly what has gone down. This video is our story from start to finish of everything that's happened with our sicknesses and with our health.
Okay, immediately I want to just give up on life completely with the insanely over-the-top, over-animated shouting and screaming in my face as soon as the video starts. How this accumulates 4 million views, I don't know. Oh, children, I suppose. Children's usually the answer to these questions.
Before we get into this, we just want to address the haters that have been coming at us from all angles. We want you guys to know the truth, and that is that we're not lying, and we are actually sick, and that's what we're going to explain to you in this video. We just want to tell you guys that the loyal extremers out there, we love all you guys, and we want you guys not to be deceived by the haters. We are telling the truth. So just don't watch their videos, the hate videos, because it's not even worth it. We are telling the truth, guys.
Your loyal extremers, all 2,800 of them. Yeah, this word gets chucked around a lot. Haters. It doesn't really refer to anything. It's basically someone that disagrees with you, and it's almost like a kind of offensive slur to these people that have very much valid criticisms. Anyone's videos I've watched on these guys, the criticisms have been very valid and well thought out and that kind of thing, and I think people have been fairly compassionate and reasonable and patient with these guys as well, myself included. I've tried giving these guys a chance from the first video that I saw, but it seems like it's just spiraling out of control since then, especially within the last video. It was just no good, and you got to be ridiculously out of your mind to not see the way that you're trying to manipulate people, especially when it comes to this stupid iPhone giveaway, and you're trying to advertise this chiropractor, Dr. Bergman, who is in himself an absolute scumbag, the lowest of the low when it comes to people in health service positions.
But like we said, we love all you guys out there, and I hope you enjoy our story, because I'm super excited to tell you from start to finish what's been going on.
Yeah, really excited to tell you about how we've been struggling with liver disease and various mental health issues. So excited and pumped up we are. It's a really exciting, fun topic for the day. They're just completely playing it up in the most ridiculous ways, like how the one on the left was crying his eyes out and singing Ed Sheeran songs about how his brother's gonna die in 4 weeks. Ridiculous.
So basically, guys, it happened. I was sick one day. I had edema in my legs. We didn't know what it was at the time, and my dad said, let's go to the GP. We went to the GP. He told us to go to the hospital immediately.
Amazing. I've never before seen anyone completely take the out of themselves as much as these guys. What's with the silly ambulance noises? It's like this is an incredibly serious topic. No, this is a topic surrounding how you could have died in 4 weeks' time. But no, you're playing it up for laughs? Very odd behavior.
So as you guys can see right here, you can see that my albumin and creatine levels were 733 and they're meant to be 2.5, and my albumin is 7,000. And that's meant to be below 15. That is crazy high. So when the specialist saw this, they think, okay, there's a serious problem. So they gave me 3 options. You can get a kidney biopsy, we can start you on a first dose of medication, or a second dose of medication. They were the 3 options. We decided we're going to do a kidney biopsy because they said that would tell us even more about what the actual sickness was. So that's what we decided to do.
Again, I'm absolutely in no way saying that the one on the right hasn't had health issues in the past relating to edema and his liver. I think it's pretty obvious that has been an issue. He's already shown evidence surrounding that. But then the one on the left doesn't have any health conditions. That's incredibly obvious, and is making it out as if he's been ill for the same amount of time. I don't know whether it's some ridiculous, weird psychological thing because he spends all his time with his brother, so he's starting to feel ill himself from that. Because he's even said he's been to tons of doctors and they've all said you've got nothing wrong with you. And I'm sorry, but I believe all of these doctors over one completely insane chiropractor that is happily going to lie and deceive people that are in their lowest health positions to try and force a quick buck out of them.
So the results we got back from the kidney biopsy was this: primary membranous nephropathy, positive phospholate A2 receptor antibiotic 16 nephrotic syndrome. Now, basically what that means is you got a kidney disease. That's the version that's what they call it in the scientific term or whatever.
Okay, so I don't know what any of this means, but I've had people in my comments talking about their own issues. If any of you guys can shine a light on what exactly he's talking about, that would be great, because I'm not too sure at the minute. I've never been through something like this. But as I say, the point has never been that this guy is a complete liar and has never gone through any health conditions. To an extent, it's worse that he has been through health problems, because he's now using that to manipulate his audience into joining an iPhone giveaway, into subscribing, into watching his content, and into checking out this ridiculous chiropractor. To use your possible death to influence people like that is horrendous. It's terrible. There's no getting around that.
So what happened was they all the results they got from my kidney biopsy basically saying I got a kidney disease, which was very frightening, as you guys would know. So obviously I took the tablets for 2 years. They didn't cure me. I didn't get cured. They said they were only going to suppress the problem, not actually cure it, which was obviously, I'm like, I don't want to suppress this problem. I want it cured.
Yeah, well, you're not Jesus Christ, no matter how much you'd like to be, with all the ridiculous religious iconography going on in here. But yeah, not everything can just be cured. Like that's not how a lot of health conditions work, especially when it comes down to something like liver disease. So for them to say they can only suppress the problem, I'm afraid I'm going to have to believe all these doctors and GPs you've been to over a literal scumbag chiropractor that is a complete lying bastard.
As you guys saw 3 months ago, we went to Dr. Bergman, and for me, Dr. Bergman is an absolute legend. This guy is actually incredible, and he heals a lot of people daily. He does. He's a great guy, a great doctor, and I tell you guys, he's an awesome, awesome person.
No, he doesn't heal anyone. That's not what chiropractors do. He helps to aid people somewhat for an incredibly large fee, especially when it comes to this doctor. He's out of his mind with some of the stuff he's doing. I will leave a link to Jeff Holliday's video on this chiropractor, because that goes into a hell of a lot more detail than I'm going to be going into in this video, and watching that has really shocked me when it comes to this Dr. Bergman. It's incredibly obvious that he's not the greatest guy in the world just from his YouTube channel and some of the stuff he said, and the fact that he's hooked up with these two random XtremeGamez YouTubers to promote his own chiropractic service.
Well, he actually helped me reduce a lot of my edema. Did he heal me fully? No, but like I said, he's a great, great, great guy. And I tell you, if I had longer, but because we couldn't stay any longer in America.
Where is my destination?
Get out of my car now!
Sir, I'm asking you.
Get out of my car now!
That joke fell really flat, like all the other jokes you've been doing, all these little memes you've been shoving in your incredibly serious video about how you could have died. So, you're saying right here that Dr. Bergman reduced your edema, not healed you. He hasn't healed anything. You've just said that all he's done is the exact same as the medication, except when it comes to Dr. Bergman, you just said you would need repeat visits, which you can't do because you don't live in America. So what are you? What is the point of what you're talking about here? What is the point of these past few videos if Dr. Bergman has done probably less by a long shot than all of this medication combined? And this is why Dr. Bergman is a bad person, because he uses people in the lowest of situations, in the most horrible pain and agony, and uses that to turn profit, which is obviously bad.
If I had longer, yes, he is a great doctor and most likely would have fully cured my kidney disease, which they said was uncurable. That's what the medical doctor said.
Then it's uncurable. If the doctors say it's uncurable, why would a chiropractor be able to heal it? Because you haven't explained how that would be possible. You've said that he can suppress your edema. You've said that if you stayed in America longer, he could continue to do that. But how would it ever get to a point where suddenly, oh, you're magically healed because I've run this weird power drill machine over your back 3 times? It's stupid.
Also, another point I just want to say to you guys is the medical doctor said, I have 4 weeks left to live. Tommy was crying because he was upset in that video. A lot of you guys say, why did you say Johnny had 4 weeks left to live? That's what the kidney specialist told us. That's what they said. And they said if I get on a plane as well, I could have a blood clot and die. They were saying all these crazy, crazy things.
I don't really think I believe that, or I think there's a lot more to this that you're not saying, because that video where the guy on the left was crying and did the Ed Sheeran montage thing and said you've only got 4 weeks left to live, that was the intro to the video where you visited Dr. Bergman and got healed. So surely you would have been to Dr. Bergman, you would have got fixed and sorted out, and then deleted the intro because it's no longer relevant in any way, except what it does is really manipulates people's emotions, and I think that's why you left it in. I really don't see how you would have had 4 weeks left to live. I don't see how Dr. Bergman in any way could have changed that so dramatically to the point where you're jumping around, moving like crazy in this video. It just all seems incredibly unlikely.
Now, a lot of people out there were calling me specifically a liar, and I do not like people that lie. It's one of my things that I literally specifically don't do. I do not lie. I try my best at every single angle to not lie, and I think everyone out there should as well.
Well, that's bullshit. What are you talking about? You lied consistently in your last video. You've lied consistently in a lot of your YouTube videos where you clickbait and massively mislead people in the most obvious and blatant ways possible. So you are a liar. You lied a lot when you said you had vertigo and that you were so ill that you might die. Like, it's absolute insanity. You were saying that you could have ended up committing suicide and that depression kills people. It's all bull. Like, every last word of it is bull. If anyone's not lying, it's your brother, absolutely not you.
I have a bunch of files in this folder right now of tests that I did from doctors and what they were saying to me, what was actually wrong with me. So I went in as a really sick, dizzy, nauseous kid. Every single day I was feeling dizzy and sick and off balance. So I was like, well, what tests can I possibly do to find out what's wrong with me? So I pretty much went to doctor after doctor. I went to surgeon. I went to a neurosurgeon and he did an MRI scan on me and he said that there was absolutely nothing wrong with me. And he was telling me that it's all in my head. Now this is a guy that I thought was very respected in this world.
Again, with the memes, if the doctor's saying it's all in your head, the likelihood is that it's all in your head. If you had an MRI scan with absolutely no results back from that, I imagine it's all in your head. And I wouldn't be too surprised by that, having a brother who's going through all these various health conditions and you spend a lot of time with him. I wouldn't be surprised by that. But to just say that the doctors are wrong and there's genuinely something wrong with you, like I accept the fact that certain things I think are wrong with me aren't wrong with me because of my hypochondria, but it very much sounds like you just have hypochondria.
That I did not understand about anything to do with health or any of that. So I go to the best and I'm like, he's telling me it's all in my head, so why am I feeling like this every single day? Why am I genuinely vomiting every day? Why am I dizzy every single day? It doesn't make much sense.
Yes, it does. That makes a lot of sense. Like, psychological issues can have a very much real and physical effect on you. If it's all in your head, it's all in your head, my friend.
It's a cat, guys.
So it's kind of like, imagine you had eye cancer. You had cancer behind your eye, so you couldn't actually see it, but it's there. And then you go into the doctors and they do scans on you and they tell you it's not there. And you can feel the physical pain every single day and you're getting told it's not there. That's kind of like what I have gone through. Now back to what I was saying. So I went to a neurosurgeon and he was telling me it's all in my head. He's saying the scans show nothing, blah, blah, blah. So they said my hearing was within normal limits in both ears, which I wasn't surprised at because I knew that I could hear properly. So I was like, I don't get why I would have a hearing problem.
Now that is genuinely funny that he's confused as to why there would be any problem with his ears when he's getting tested for vertigo, which is entirely to do with your ears, is it not? Your whole balance of your body is to do with your ears. So get with the program, man. Christ. Yeah, sorry, if you've been to neurosurgeons, had MRI scans, and you've been to doctors, and they say there's nothing wrong with you, then there's nothing wrong with you. There's no need to look further other than maybe seeing some sort of psychotherapist. Because it's all interesting the way that you've apparently been ill for the exact same amount of time your brother has, even though where your brother genuinely has something wrong with him. You clearly spend like all your time together, so it could just be something psychological in that sense. So this is where things start falling apart, because you're trying to prove something that doesn't exist, and that whole comparison with eye cancer is absurd, because I'm pretty sure you could get tests done to find that kind of an issue. Just because something is psychological doesn't mean it can't produce physical results. That can absolutely be the case. If you look at something like a panic attack, that's an incredibly full-on physical thing created by psychological sensations and that sort of stuff. So, moving on.
My timpamanamonomana, no one knows what that word is. I don't even know what that word is to this day, but pretty much my inner ears were perfect. They're saying, you know what, your ears are perfect, buddy. So then I went to an ENT specialist, ear, nose, and throat specialist, and these guys are supposed to know exactly about vertigo and all of that stuff, and I was just like, well, give me some answers then, son. Once again, as you can see on the paperwork, they said I was fine and nothing was wrong with me. They said this happens to teenagers at your age often and it'll pass. Well, guess what, son? It still has not passed. So
yeah, okay, well, give it a chance for a start. And if these guys are specialists and they say there's still nothing wrong with you, then there's nothing wrong with you. I don't see what you're trying to get at here. In the last video, you were going off on some wild tangent about depression and mental health issues and all that kind of stuff. So I really don't know what the point of anything you're saying is. It's really not relevant to the situation, and that just makes it even more interesting when you're trying to make it relevant when your brother's the one that's going through issues. Is it because you both run a channel together and it would be unfair that one of you is ill and getting all the sympathy? That's a of looking at things, but knowing you guys' behavior, that's not too far from an exaggeration.
Dr. Bergman in California, and this guy is an amazing guy. He just loves everyone that comes in. He's helping little kids that are autistic, and when you see these kids come in, because we were there for 3 months, and we saw a kid come in and completely autistic, their arm is spazzing, their leg's spazzing, and 3 months later, they can actually function relatively normal. It's crazy when we actually saw this happen. So
no, that's not crazy that a chiropractor can help people with medical issues. That's not some kind of miracle. That's what his job is. But the real problem is, especially as you're speaking about autism, this is a doctor that flat out lies to his patients regarding vaccinations and how terrible and bad they are and horrible they are for you, and how you should just avoid them and come to good old Dr. Bergman to fix all your problems for a really high price, and you'll have to keep revisiting me week after week after week. He has said that, you know, vaccines are a leading cause of autism, and that's just not true at all. This was put to bed a long time ago. There have been studies done on this, and the original study was made out to be false, and for some reason Dr. Bergman's still going on about it as if it's an actual thing. That is lying to your patients to benefit himself and his income, and it's just bad. It's really bad that you're saying that this is a great person that wants to help everybody. No, it's his job to help people. It's his job to extract as much money out of these desperate people that he can. Good guy, yeah, really great guy, good chap, great chap.
He's helping people with autism, with all sorts of problems, guys, and Dr. Bergman truly has love in his heart for everyone. So if you do need a doctor out there, Dr. Bergman is a great person to go to.
No! This is not a good message for your 4 million children fans. If you have any health issues, go to a doctor. Go to your GP. Don't travel to America to see Dr. Bergman, the wacky, zany, wrong, lying, deceptive scumbag. Then when you can just go to your normal doctor and get actual medicine that will help, instead of having to go to a chiropractor regularly to suppress minor issues that you have. It's ridiculous. Right, listen, I'm done with these guys. It's just absurd. And we can clearly see by the amount of views and likes this has got that people are done with these guys as well. So I can't be bothered with it anymore. But as I said earlier, if anyone has any comments regarding what the one on the right has been saying about his health issues, I'd be interested in hearing about that. I don't give a damn about the guy on the left because he's just spouting nonsense every time he gets in front of a camera. And hey, maybe he doesn't realize that all of his problems are in his head. Maybe he doesn't know that, and that's fair enough. But these guys are clearly working hand in hand with Dr. Bergman in some weird way of benefiting both of them when it really hasn't. You've fallen flat on your face, and I'm really glad you have. You're absolutely trivializing what it means to have these health issues. You really are. Making this video, which is like a jokey comedy video, when you guys are talking about how you could have died and how you have liver disease and various other health conditions. It's just completely ridiculous. So I hope you guys actually do listen to the haters, because they're the ones that can point you away from doing stuff like this in the future. But I really can't see your channel going anywhere at this point. You've kind of screwed that up, so well done for that. Anyway, if you've enjoyed today's video, please do leave it a like and subscribe if you want to help support me and my channel. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye now.